It's on. Come on in. We need to get you in there. There we go. Perfect. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Marcia.
Hey, Marcia.
Welcome. Come in, yeah. Miss Paula, welcome. Hey guys, just jumping on here real quick to share our planning meeting for Destination the Retreat.
Yes.
And our theme this evening that we focused on was the value of investing in self-development. So let me turn the camera around a little bit so you can see the rest of the team. Say hi, Vern.
Hello.
Miss Riri and Miss Tracina. Hello, hello. All right, guys. So we are just jumping on to just share about the value of investment. And so when we have these meetings, we always put ourselves in the shoe of the attendees that'll be attending the retreat, Destination the Retreat. And so one thing that I wanted to address was your self-development fund, right? A lot of people have funds for everything except self-development. And so what I mean is you may have a fund for travel, you may have a fund for retirement, but what about your self-development in the process, right? And so one of the questions that I asked Ms. Tracina here, because she is a world traveler. Yes. When I say world traveler, I mean world traveler. I'm not just talking about cruises. I'm a cruise girl. But this girl is a world traveler. And so when I asked her, I said, do you have a fund for self-development? And she had to pause and think about it. And she said, actually, I don't. And so she went to share how when she go to self-development events and conferences and things like that, she typically take it out of her savings because it's available, but it's not set aside specifically for self-development. And so what are some of the places you have traveled to?
Oh, Japan, the Maldives.
Yes.
Costa Rica. So, and this year we're going to China. Oh my goodness, I can't even think more, but yes, that's my passion.
Yes, I just wanted her to give you a view of her travel, right? But when it comes to your self-development fund, what does that look like? Like, when did you know that you needed to take time to actually invest in your self-development? Mm-hmm. Not just yourself, because traveling is to some extent a investing in yourself, but I'm talking about self-development.
Right. So for me, the second retreat that you had, like the first retreat, I'll be honest, I was just like, I ain't paying no $450 to go to no retreat. I don't need to be, I'm good. I'm in my good place, right?
Yeah.
So that was my mindset then. And when I went to the second retreat, I honestly just went to support you. Mm-hmm. But man, I got an eye-opener at that retreat. I think it was Reset and
Resurrect and Reset. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that actually opened the door for me to see what I was doing to myself, and it was damage.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm the person that does so much for everyone else, right? So I had a lot going on during that particular year, with attending to my sick husband at that time, and I was blinded by a lot of things. So me doing for everyone else was my smoke screen, if you will, to not develop or not address the things that Tracina needed for herself, right? So that helped put things in perspective for me. So I did a lot of work, retreat 1, 2, and 3, and it was honestly your retreats, and thank you so much for that, to open my eyes to understanding what self-development is really all about. Self-worth, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I wasn't invested in myself. Me traveling was just a passion and a hobby, right? And again, to me now, looking back on that, it was traveling. Yeah, I enjoyed where I went, but it was a temporary moment to forget about Tracina.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
so to pretty much give your brain a chance to stop thinking, to relax. Absolutely. Because you were going through so much. Right. But I want to go back to something that you said that I believe a lot of people are stuck in that place and doesn't realize they're stuck. Is that you said you didn't come to the first retreat because you were good. Mm-hmm. You felt like you were good. And so a lot of people are in a place of good. And here's the thing that I say about good. Good is good, but it's not good enough. because better is always available. And like you said, you didn't know the other side of self-development beyond you just going and traveling to give your brain a chance to stop thinking. But self-development is much more than just giving your brain a chance to stop thinking, giving your brain a chance to relax. It's about you going and replenishing. Right. It's about you investing in your next. When a lot of times people just recycle day in and day out what they're used to doing. And so it's almost like vacation is just a time to vacate for the moment. But because they've learned something, they've learned these behaviors, is that they come back and it's business as usual when it should never just be business as usual. It's because they vacate.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree with that.
And so with having this awakening, if you will, with learning self-development from your first retreat now to your fourth retreat, right? Mm-hmm. What would be the difference you would say that you've learned from each retreat, and that why now you've made this an annual event for you?
Well, self-development is something that should be continual at all stages of your life.
Yes.
You know, for me, it was the beginning and eye-opener as to what I needed to do for me at that time. And the more retreats that I went on, it was always something different, a new discovery for myself. And like now I'm turning my travel passion into a business, if you will.
I love it.
Journaling on a journey. Like I never would have thought about this a long time ago. I didn't even know that was an existence for me. Like I said, it was a hobby, right? But no, I mean, you know, I get excited when I start talking about travel.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, never knowing, not understanding what that self-development was really all about. So now I'm taking time for me. I'm investing in myself.
Yes.
I'm planning my stages out. You know, now I have a clear direction. Whereas before, in my good place, I was good as long as nothing was shaking or nothing was rambling me up. So now when I come into those moments of ramble or moments of confusion, I have a source to go to. I have a plan B to look at to figure the things out where I didn't have that before.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, I love that. And so you mentioned that you turned your hobby now into a business, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so with that, it pretty much is that you're developing another stream of income.
Absolutely. I'm glad you touched on that. So again, being in my good place, you know, my good government certificate job, but at the same time, I was faced. I'm one of those people when opportunities or certain situations present themselves to me, like right now, and I have a medical challenge I'm going through. I have to pay a surgeon $24,000, and while it's scary, while I have it, I'm going to deplete myself, and it feels like I'm taking steps backwards, right? Mm-hmm. But if I had other streams of income, this wouldn't be a thing for me.
Absolutely.
So that presented itself to me, and I was like, wow. While I have myself on a good path of financial stream, it's not good enough.
Yes.
I see that. It's not good enough.
Yes.
I need other streams of income.
Right.
And that's my next goal now. Now I'm working to on different avenues to create more streams of income.
Yeah, I love that.
That's very important.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that before.
Yeah, it's very important because a lot of times people make the one thing, the one stream, the one thing. And that's it. And so like you said, now you have this medical challenge that you have to come out of pocket because it's not covered by insurance.
Right.
Right.
See, it's another thing. So again, 12 years of being on a basic plan, never have to come out of pocket for anything. Now that I do, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's something that opened my eyes and something that says, no, I'm not gonna make this an issue. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take it head on. I'm gonna find out ways how I can make Join on a Journey, create more income for me.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And not just that, other things. I'm looking at other investments now with property. So yeah, I have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so important because so many people, they look at their life of being in the federal government, right?
Right.
And that it has created this stability or security, thank you, if you will, and that's it, and that's all, right?
Yep.
They go to work every single day up until the time they can retire, and then they plan to live off their annuity or retirement forever and ever, amen. Right. And that's not the case because that's not going to sustain you. That's putting you on a fixed income when your life is never fixed. Absolutely. Nothing ever stays the same. Electric doesn't stay the same. Gas doesn't stay the same. Your rent doesn't stay the same if you're leasing. Nothing stays the same. Gas prices doesn't stay the same. So why would you allow your income to stay the same? Mm-hmm. Why would you allow yourself to be stuck in a situation where you don't have multiple streams streaming for you. And so self-development is about discovering what you don't know, right?
Absolutely.
Because like you just said, you didn't know these additional values of investment because you hadn't been exposed to it.
True. That's absolutely
right?
true.
And so that's what it's about, exposing yourself to better, because you can be good, but good is not good enough.
Absolutely.
It's not good enough.
And it's just like when you said about, retirement. That was me too. And see, for some people, I know there's more people out there like me who are visual people, right?
Yes.
So I used to always say that, when I retire, I'm going to travel here, I'm going to travel there. Well, again, a situation presented itself to me, and my husband told me then, listen, live your life.
Yes.
We don't know when, what is retirement? We're not promised here tomorrow, right? 2011, I was on a roll.
Yeah.
So I make it a point to go somewhere every year, somewhere big, somewhere big. Forgive me.
Right.
But yes.
Right.
So whatever your thing is, you got to start working into it. Your passions are and your gifts, you can create. Someone is watching. Someone needs it.
Absolutely.
So we can create streams of income in so many different platforms.
Yes, yes. And so it's what's the value you have in you. And so I know a lot of times people take advantage of self-development at work, but they never take advantage of developing themselves outside of work.
Right.
And so is your worth just at work? I'm going to say that again. It's a question. I want you guys to respond to that. Is your worth only at work? Because here's the thing. If they decide today or tomorrow to give you a pink slip, are they still giving pink slips? Right. Because I'm retired now. Right. So I don't know what they're doing. Because I decided to make a change in my life for myself and the generations to come. I decided to create a legacy that my children, my grandchildren, my great-great-great-grands could benefit from. Because here's the thing, with retirement, if you're not married, it goes back. So you paid all this money into retirement, and then it goes back to the government. I had a problem with that, and you should too. So at some point, you have to begin to start investing in yourself at the next dimension. And so while you may be good, that's good, but it's not great, and you know it. You know that where you are isn't where you're supposed to be. You know that you're hanging out in mediocrity. You really are. Because mediocrity is simply staying in the same place and refusing to change. And so you have to make a decision to change, literally, because it's up to you. Whatever you do now is creating your next. How does your next look right now? Right? How does your next look right now? And so you have to begin to start to develop yourself outside of the workplace. Begin to start developing yourself outside of the workplace so that you can create your life and not allow life to create you.
So can I jump in? And
Absolutely.
Add one thing? So you touched on a few things. So I did not know what Tracina wanted. And see, that's where a lot of us are stuck in that place.
Yes.
When we're thinking that we're good, that's really because you don't know. Right. And in my 40s, I'm 47 now, but in my early 40s, I was in a place where how can I be at this place in my life and not know what it is I want to do, what it is I even like to do? What does Tracina want? Like, I did not know that. So I had to go backwards, right? So I did things, I know what I don't want. I know what I don't like to do. So start where you know, right? And then work your way up from there. And I think that's very important because some people don't want to admit that, and I didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
It took me a while to even figure that piece out. When you don't know, you don't know. But you got to find out for yourself. Otherwise, you'll be stuck for the duration of whatever that is for you.
That's right. That's exactly right. You don't know what you don't know, but what you do know, start there.
Absolutely.
And that's a great starting point because it's like you have to locate yourself. I talk to so many people and I hear them say, I don't know. I know that there's more. I know I'm supposed to be doing something else. I don't know. But guess what? They do the same thing. They don't take the time to invest in their elevation, but they'll invest in entertainment.
Right.
I'm going to say that again. You take the time to invest in entertainment, but you don't take the time to invest in elevation. You have your whole calendar set up for entertainment this summer. You have your whole calendar set up for shows that you want to go to, but you don't have a calendar set up for your life, where you want to go to, for where you want to grow to. There's something wrong with that. Listen, it's something wrong with that, and you have to make a decision to change that, because the people that are entertaining you, they're paid.
Yep, absolutely.
You are adding to their legacy.
Absolutely.
Literally. Right now, they're on their great-great-great-grandkids' legacy. So at what point are you going to start creating your own? At what point are you going to say, you know what? One source is not enough. 2 sources is not enough. Society says you should have at least 7 streams. I say 10 that are working for you on a consistent basis. How are you streaming? Are you on a job and relying on that job to provide a life for you? Are you developing streams that aren't working? Are you just busy but not creating any business? What are you doing? Where are you? Take a minute to self-check, to do an introspective where you are. Like I said at the top of this live, do you have a fund for self-development? Do you have a fund for entertainment? And when I say fund, I mean a budget, a line item. Where are you? Locate yourself. And if you have a line item for entertainment, you may want to begin to start shifting that. Literally, you may want to begin to start shifting that. I had a conversation yesterday with Patricia Richmond, and she said when she made the decision to come to Destination the Retreat, she had to consider some things that she was doing, wanted to do, and what she needed to do. And so the budget that she had for entertainment, she shifted those funds and invested in her elevation and decided to come to Destination the Retreat. And so I'm giving you an invitation to vacation and transformation. Yeah. See that. Get that on the canvas of your imagination. You can go have a vacation and transformation in the same time.
Absolutely.
You don't have to choose one or the other, but you definitely need to choose transformation. You definitely have to begin to stop living a life of the same today. So I invite you to join us at Destination the Retreat. Go to destinationtheretreat.eventbrite.com and join us. You still have time to do a payment plan. If you need the cash flow, some people just like to have cash flow. I get it. If you need the cash flow, pay your deposit by May the 19th and you can just join in on the payment plan. If you got it all and you know, listen, let me just go ahead and make the investment so it's done, do it. But stop playing games with your change.
Yes.
Your change, no hesitation. I love that. Right. Your change is depending on you. The quality of your life is depending on you. I asked you guys a question. If your job that you depend on now decided to give you a pink slip or say we no longer need your service, where would you be? Where would you be? Where would you be? Would you be in a place of stagnation? Would you be in a place of hesitation, or would you execute to find another job? That's the same energy. That's the same drive that you need to have in advance before that happens. Nobody should ever have that much power over your life. Yes. No one should ever have that much power over your life. And so you mentioned that now your goals have changed. Mm-hmm. You've added to your list. You've added to the layout of your life. And what does that look like for you?
Well, now that I have, I'm looking to my investments for properties to one source of stream of income.
One source. You get that, guys? I hope y'all taking notes. Yeah.
The second source of my income, I'm looking to promote Journal on a Journey
for my
travel.
Yes.
With that, will turn into about blogging and different, sites. I haven't quite outlined it A through Z yet, but the point is that I am starting it because I see that it needs to be. Yeah. And I'm going to see where else. Like you said, it's 7. I know I got more. I just got to figure them out.
Yeah. Right.
So now that I have the tools now. That's the most important piece.
Absolutely.
Having the tools and executing them out. That's where I started at.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, there's no more hesitating on my self-development. Like those people who can swipe a card real quick to go to an entertainment, to a concert, whatever, that's $200-300 some, you can do this.
Yes.
It's for yourself. You never could put a value on your self-development. And that, although it took me some time to learn that, I understand it now. Like I didn't understand it then.
Yeah.
And there's some of us who are stuck in, I know I need the help. I want the help. And then when you outline it for them and put, my services is $500, and you want to hold back. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why you want to do that? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah.
There's a cost to everything. You're paying the entertainer to jump around and dance for you.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm serious.
Right, I get you, yeah.
So when you
that's real.
jump and dance for yourself.
You just entertained.
So,
it's doing nothing to help you change. You just entertain, and guess what? You're repeating that same cycle. You're recycling it. You're going and you're telling everybody, oh my God, Uncle Charlie gave an amazing show. Uncle Charlie paid.
Right.
Uncle Charlie is paid.
Paid like Uncle Charlie. That's my
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so you got to get in the place to understand the exchange and stop investing in entertainment only. Entertainment is great, but it shouldn't be your only thing. Right. It should have its proper place. If you have a budget for entertainment and no budget for elevation, you need to change that today. You need to change that today. Literally. You need to change that today. We got to stop being in the place of stuck. And listen, Kanye West talked about that 400 years of slavery. I'm not going to go into, how you guys feel about Kanye West. This isn't about Kanye. But I am talking about the mindset of slavery, the mindset of being locked up right here because of what you've been told or what you've been shown, right? Our ancestors went to work, had amazing work ethic, and that's all they did. They didn't have the multiple streams of income. They taught us to go to work every day, retire, and have that one source when we finish. Time out for that. You got to release yourself from the mindset of slavery. You got to release yourself from the mindset of imprisonment and begin to create change, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. You got to create that legacy, guys, today. Make a decision today to begin to change your tomorrow. Because right now, you're investing in your next now.
Absolutely.
You're investing in your next now. And so what are you going to do for your next? Before we end this live, do you have a budget for elevation? Do you have a budget for entertainment? What are you going to do for your next now, today? Ain't a whole lot to it. You going in changing some things on that Excel spreadsheet is not a whole lot to it. But you need to start investing something in your own personal development today. What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? I want to hear from you guys. I don't like to just get on here and talk to you. Yeah. I like to have a conversation with you. What does that look like? Somebody, who's that just jumped on and said, where are you going? Oh, right. What are you going to do now for your next? Absolutely, Marcia. That's exactly right. What are you going to do now for your next? Nikki said it's an invitation to transformation. Absolutely. Destination of retreat is an invitation for your transformation. It's to help you cultivate the gifts, the callings, and like you called it, a hobby initially, right, but it's now a stream of income for you, right? And that's the same thing. You guys are already operating in your gifts and your callings.
You just don't know it because I didn't know it. It's serious. I'm serious. Like I had no idea that what I just seemed like a simple enjoyment, I'm creating something more and never knowing who's looking. And I had a girlfriend who tell me, I couldn't even pronounce the word. Where you say you was going? But when she saw the pictures of when I came back and she saw my pictures, she was just like, never even knew the place existed, never even heard of it. Whenever that I happened to see it on the side of Expedia and clicked on it and said, that's where I'm going. And that's what I did.
Right. Yeah. And so you were able to make that execution because you planned for it.
Absolutely.
Right? You have a fund. You have a line item in your budget for travel.
Absolutely. So think about it like this. So now, like she said, take your spreadsheet and create a new line for elevation. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So just like I do my travel fund, I treat it like a bill. I deposit X amount of dollars into it every 2 weeks. I'm going to do the same thing with my funds. I got a startup fund. I'm going to switch that over there to get me started.
Yes.
To keep it going, opposed to going into my savings. Because that way, when you do those kind of things, you start messing up.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't want to do that. So plan it out, create it, start investing in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And make that shift. You guys already have funds in your entertainment budget, but nothing in elevation. Go ahead and make that shift. Go ahead and transfer that into your elevation and begin to change so that entertainment won't be an issue. It will be well balanced out. Because you don't have to have one or the other. Because I guarantee you, if you have elevation, you'll certainly have entertainment. But your desires for entertainment will be so different when you expose yourself to your next dimension. So join us at Destination The Retreat in Mexico, Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 3rd. Join us there. Go to www.destinationtheretreat.eventbrite.com. We look forward to seeing you there.
See you there.
Have an amazing Saturday, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you.